Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Today I got a special guest. Emperor Malik is in the house, and we're going to be talking about addiction. And I want you to pay attention to his story because it's one of those stories that a lot of us are not able or don't have the courage to share. He's going to go real deep about, the impact that addiction had on his family and on him. And he wrote this song. I'm telling you, this song is blowing. And I'm going to let you listen to that song at the end of this interview. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do, man, hit me up in the comment section. Let this brother know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Encourage him and promote him and share it with all of your friends out there on social media, right? So, but let's just get to the interview first, right? And then we're going to get to the song, right? So with that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, Uncle Joe. How about yourself?
I'm good. You want to introduce yourself to the people?
I am Emperor Malik.
Yes.
I go by Malik for short.
Yes. Where you hail from now? Those of you that have not listened to that song that is playing now on the platform on YouTube, I got a question. He's in there, and you're gonna hear some information about him in that interview. But for those of you that haven't listened, go listen. But I want you to introduce yourself to those individuals right now, brother.
All right, I'm Emperor Malik. I come from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm in Tennessee now. So
yeah. Dig that. That's what's up. Now let's you approached me because you wanted to talk about addiction.
I did,
and how it affected you, and how that experience inspired you to write this song. You want to tell us the name of this song?
It's called Addiction, Joe.
It's called Addiction.
Simple. Yeah, I wanted to get right to the point. Yeah,
man,
I want you to know even
right
when
you
see the name, what it's about.
Come with it.
Yeah, come with it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what happened in your life that inspired this song.
Well, addiction has been a current theme through my whole life.
Yeah.
Now, it has been a morphing monster. It's changed its face in many different dimensions. For instance, it started off with me watching my parents addicted to crack. Mm-hmm. And then in my teenage years, I started selling crack. Mm-hmm. So I was on that end of it now and watching other people be addicted.
Yeah.
And then in my later years, I became addicted to cocaine and alcohol myself. So I've seen it from all the different facets or sides.
Okay, so let's go back then. Let's go back, if it's okay with you.
That's okay, yeah.
Let's go back to your parents.
Okay.
You say you saw your parents addicted to cocaine, crack cocaine?
Crack cocaine, yes, sir.
Tell me about that. Tell us about that. How did that happen? How did that come up? And tell me what your life was like before the crack and then during and after, in relation to your parents.
I had a pretty good life when I was young. Mom was working. Pops was they was providing for me and my sister. We had all the nice little clothes and food. We had everything we need, but I didn't know that they had a closet addiction at the time. She revealed to me later, but they would disappear and end up telling me that she was struggling with a crack cocaine habit. And she didn't want me to ever try drugs. That's why she told me, don't ever try drugs. I'm struggling with this crack problem.
How old were you when you had that conversation with your mom?
I had to be maybe 9 or 10.
9 or 10?
Yeah.
The progression. When she started, when you realized she was on it, what was her life like? Tell us about that transition, how you saw her from going from this provider to this addict.
Because we had so many nice things, I began to realize that things were coming up missing.
Yeah.
A video game here.
Yeah.
A bracelet she used to have here. Mm-hmm. The TV. I began asking her, where's this stuff at? For a while, she would come up with excuses. We let the cousin use it, or so-and-so borrowed. It's like he borrowed the couch. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, the whole couch.
Noticed that that's what it was. That she never said it was her selling the things. I found out that was her boyfriend who was more hard on the drugs than her.
Right.
And he was selling everything nice we had. Sold the turkey, and she got up to cook one day, the turkey was gone, and all the food was gone, man.
Yeah.
So I saw it go from us having nice things and having friends coming from school want to be at our house because we popular, to us sitting in the living room with the curtains door. Mm-hmm. So I saw it take everything.
Yeah. Ain't nothing in the house.
It was nothing in the house, man.
Tell me, you had talked to me earlier about how you, your rationale on how you started selling, because when we were talking about it before, to people, potential mothers or fathers, people that you didn't know that might have been mothers or fathers, knowing what it did to your parents. How did you reconcile it? How did you justify that?
Hindsight is 2020. It was a justification.
Yeah.
But at the time, I thought it was survival and it was the best moves. And the way I justified that was, I felt like I chose the lesser of two evils. Before she got paid, there would be a drug man at our house waiting the day before, feeding her crack.
Oh, the day before.
The day before.
Yeah.
So she'd be in debt. When the check came, he'd take her to cash it. It'd all be his.
Right.
And he'd leave, and then we'd struggle for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Going to food shelters, doing whatever we could do to survive.
Right.
And so in my young mind, when I became a teen, maybe 13, 14, I called myself being rational. I said, well, if I could just get the drugs,
right,
I could keep the money in the house.
Right.
Yeah, she'd still be high, but it'd be a lesser evil because we could still eat
you got food to eat
month.
for you and your sister.
And that's what I did, man. I went and got some drugs from my cousin one time, and when the drug man came that month, I locked the door and begged mom not to let him in, and I started feeding it to her.
Right.
And then I began to have pizza parties for my little sister and my friend.
You taking care of them.
Yeah, the rest of the month, man. So that's how I justified it. They gonna do it anyway, so I might as well get some kind of benefit out of it.
Right. That story, it was important because, when you told me about it, because a lot of people think that when people start selling drugs, it's because they want to be rich. And in most of the situations, it's that. People don't want to be poor anymore. They don't want to struggle anymore, this and that. Your rationale was you just wanted to be able to eat.
I did, man.
No food in the house.
Yeah.
So you think that this is the best route for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was nobody for you to go to tell what was going on so that you could eat, you and your sister could eat. So I get that. It's still wrong.
It's wrong, absolutely.
You understand? We don't want anybody to get the wrong message from this. But it's not one of those situations where it was a totally selfish motive behind that. And I want people that listen to this to understand that, don't assume that you know why people get involved in nefarious activities.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it's usually a story behind it, and it's not one that you see on TV.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Where they put out there and they say this and they're trying to make people that sell drugs look bad. I'm not saying it's right. It's wrong.
It's wrong, absolutely.
It's wrong to sell drugs to people in the streets. It's wrong. But a lot of times those stories behind that, it makes it hard to look at them and be like, dang, I don't know what I would have done in that situation. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So give me some examples of when you were selling drugs. What are some of the weirdest things that happened to you when you were young and you were selling drugs? Because I assume that you moved beyond, making sure that your mom had drugs so y'all could have food to actually getting out there in the street. So is that true?
That is true.
So
absolutely.
talk about that a little bit for us.
It tripped me out when I began to see the things that people would do.
Yeah.
For drugs. And the power that it had behind it.
Right.
The power becomes intoxicating.
Yeah, absolutely.
After a while, like you said, it started just to eat.
Yeah.
Then after a while, you begin to see that people give you anything.
Right.
People do anything. You can go get things that you want. You can buy clothes.
Right.
And you can do this. And it feels good to be able to do and have what you want and to have people move around you. So it kind of becomes intoxicating and blinding. Your morality levels are a little bit more dull.
Right.
Your senses become a little bit more dull because you become selfish.
Yeah.
And now you do want things for yourself.
That's right.
And versus other people and stuff like that. So I experienced that a little bit too.
Now that's important because I think a lot of people don't understand the power of the game. So when you get involved in the game, like you said, a lot of times, you start to realize that you can get anything done that you want done. You can buy all the clothes that you want, the shoes that you want, the girls that you want, whatever it is. It's all at your feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it becomes intoxicating, like you said, and that is very corrupting for a young mind.
Absolutely.
For a young mind.
Yeah, his willpower is not strong enough.
It's not strong enough to resist that.
Yeah.
And when we, even though you got in the game for different reasons, but when we're out there, those adults that manipulate and use young people to sell drugs, we should be ashamed of ourselves because we're taking a young mind and we're basically, even though that young person may not be using drugs, we are getting that young person addicted to a way of life that's gonna go on a 20-year trajectory, probably
right.
downhill.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not realizing or not caring. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't letting nobody off the hook. We realize what we're doing, but we're not caring about this young mind.
That's right.
That we have some responsibility in to shape.
Yeah.
We want them to go do what we need them to do so we can get our money.
Selfish.
You see what I'm saying? It becomes a selfish thing, right? And I wanted to point that out too because I want any parent out there or anybody that's in the game, be careful. Think about that young person that you influence with your behavior. You know what I'm saying? You got in the game for different reasons. I get it. And it continued to pull you in, I see.
Absolutely.
And now all of a sudden you got trapped by the things that everybody else gets trapped by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what was it like for you when you got addicted? How did that happen? What was the first time like and all of that?
It always started off as it was kind of a peer pressure thing. And a curiosity thing, because I seen my friends and people that I hung with, they were drug dealers too. So they didn't look like the addicts who you thought were the lesser class of people. These were people who was selling drugs and had nice things too, and they were snorting cocaine. And I thought it was different. Oh, it ain't crack, because these are the fly guys that's doing this.
Yeah.
We ain't smoking pipes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
It's
I
different.
Feel you.
Yeah, that's how you trick yourself.
Yeah,
This is different.
Yeah.
It is not.
It's
not any different.
No, it's not.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
And so I began doing it that way, and I justified still doing it because I was still selling drugs and still getting illegal money, and so I can do it as much as I want. I can buy 3 grams and just do it for myself. I ain't no dope fiend.
Right.
And I began to realize that I start doing it more and more. I start spending more money.
Yeah.
I start staying gone longer.
Yeah.
I heard a saying that say, drugs will take you a lot farther than you plan on going.
Come on now.
A lot longer than you plan on staying.
All right, then.
And make you spend a lot more than you planned on spending.
All right now.
And so I looked up eventually, man, and I was trapped to the point to where any kind of money that I got, I was setting some to the side for me to do some.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Feeding that addiction.
I was, and it was something that I was fighting for a long time because I didn't want to have that habit, but I was trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to tell nobody though.
The shame set in.
Yeah, the shame sets in.
Now let me ask you a question before we get to it, because I know everybody out there waiting. They want to hear this thing. They want to hear this thing.
Yeah.
At any time when you realized when did you realize that you were addicted?
When I lost my wife, when my marriage fell apart. Because of my mishandling of funds and money. And, being gone too long. And the things that drugs had me doing. And when I got my divorce papers, that's when I realized I was out there too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But the question that I wanted to ask was this in relation to when you realized that you were addicted is at any time, man, did you ever think, I'm just like my mom?
I did.
Tell us about that.
I was around her actually at the time, and I was hiding the addiction from her. But I was watching her and her friends get high the way that they got high, and I went in the bathroom and got high the way that I got high. Snorted my cocaine. When I came out, and I sat and looked at them, and I saw her, and it hit me. I said, "Man, you are her, man."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't tell her, but it hit me.
Did y'all ever have a talk about?
We did.
What was that like?
She cried when I told her.
Did she feel responsible in any kind of way?
She did. Yeah, she took it real hard. Yep.
Yeah. That's rough. Rough. Man, that got me emotional a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, look here. Check this out, y'all. Because I ain't finna start crying. Y'all know how I am. I'll start crying and everything. The whole show will be over with. And it resonates with me because I lost my mother when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And just realizing that, you sat down and you were able to talk to your mom about your problems.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's real too. And I don't want people out there to take for granted, you know what I'm saying, the people that are in their lives that they love. Mothers, fathers. Don't take them for granted. Kids, because when you get involved in that lifestyle, that criminal lifestyle, that drug lifestyle, you're taking life for granted, even though it's an addiction and it traps you. It takes away everything. And you'll start to take for granted those people that that love you, that want the best for you, because you focus more on that addiction. You focus more on the addiction. And because you have no choice at that point. It pulls you. And with that said, I'm going to ask you, do you have anything else that you want to say before we get to this amazing song called Addiction?
I'll say one more phrase my mom said right before when she found out when I told her what was going on. She cried. She said, "I'm scared for you because I can tell that you actually like it." Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap it up with that, man. So y'all sit back. Got something amazing for you. It's coming. The name of this song is called Addiction. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.
Everybody want to glorify the game.
Addiction.
Don't nobody want to talk about the dark side. She remembered the first time. How could she forget? He said, "Baby, this won't hurt a bit. It's just a little prick." She stuck her arm out. He wrapped the belt around it. Thumped the needle, stuck it in her vein, then shot her up with false hopes and dreams haven't been granted yet. The rush made her body cream, made her panties wet. The only thing she seen was a lot of threats and different cats feeling on her breasts and using her for sex. Anything to keep the monkey off her back. A black Cadillac, a man with no drawers in the back. She sucked his balls and all for a sack. Anything to keep from going through withdrawals and all that. It's sad, cause even though she got paid, she ended up with a case of full-blown AIDS. And she'll never get to see her son graduate. Tragically, her frail body lays in the early grave. Damn.
Addiction.
Curiosity killed the cat. He put his lips to that pipe, then by the end of the night smoked up his own sack. Just like that, he was trapped. He tried to fight back, but under that he had this itch he couldn't scratch. For so long he tried to hide it on the inside, but when he hide, he like Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. And he would try anything to hustle up some change, bringing shame to his name just to try to ease the pain. Goodbye to the game, say hi to the high life. He tried to hide it from his wife, but he couldn't even lie right. She looked at him, sweat dripping off his forehead, his mouth twitching back and forth. Picture what she soon said. He dropped his head and fell to his knees. She the best thing he ever had, he better not to leave. She said that pipe might as well be your wifey, cause obviously you love it more than you love me. Damn.
Addiction.
The doctor said he might not live to see tomorrow, cause most of his life he tried to drown all his sorrows with liquor bottles. Addicted to the alcohol, early at the bar he wouldn't leave until the last call. He hit the stores when they first opened up their doors. Beers galore and you can smell it coming out his pores. He spent his last days destroying his health. 151 Bacardi had him pissing on himself. Two-step in his slurred speech when he talked after dark. He had a special spot to sleep in the park. Then one day some young kids beat the brakes off him. He asked him for some spare change to get the shakes off him. And if he couldn't get a drink, then he would take coffee, mixing with some rubber alcohol to keep the hanks off him. And now he lays in his hospital bed shivering, slowly fading away, cirrhosis to his liver. Damn.
Addiction.